This is Margaret Ann Windsor. I put this on the beginning of the tapes because the name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey, married named Childers. Peggy Ann Dempsey is the name of a twin that was given to me when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 1941. I was born in 39, and brought to Moulton, Alabama, to a pigsty, a horrible place. And the twins were dead. They were even born in a different year, so they had a bit different birthday. So there's never been any doubt in anybody's mind as what's happened to me or who I am. It's just that it would kind of look a little bad for the United States, you think, if the truth was told about all this. My father's the real King Edward VIII. A 99-year seal was put on his takedown by his own brother, helped do it, George VI, the one the movie made out to be such a nice guy, the King's Speech. He's an illegal monarch. He sold out his country. He sold out his brother, the real king. He kidnapped his brother's daughter, helped in it, and brought me over here to be a hostage and grow up and be tortured every step of the way. So, hey, you don't get any of the truth. Now, his daughter, Elizabeth, who goes before the cameras or portraits, and she's all coughed, and she's got spent my money, the British money, the selfish person, sick, traitor, on herself, while I'm in rags and starved and begging to have a place to live, because she's occupying my home. Here's Caroline Kennedy, who Obama's part of the New World Order that helped kidnap me back then. He wasn't born then, but he hasn't made efforts to change it that I know of. He's just enhanced the New World Order. He's even made a video saying the New World Order is in place. Okay, Elizabeth is part of the New World Order, and Charles. And you've got my George VI, my uncle, the illegal monarch that sold us out. He was part of it with the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergers, and later on the 18-minute gap of the Watergate tape is Henry Kissinger, where they were going to lobotomize me with Victor Gonzalez if the Brits or my family didn't come through with demands. That's what a hostage is, a hostage. So anyway, I give you some background on it. This is my father, Edward VIII, married to Claudia Ruth. Okay, this is my uncle, I hate to say. Let me just take this and do it this way. Okay, I just showed you Elizabeth. I just showed you the double with Wallace Simpson. There wasn't even my dad. My dad was married to my mom, like I said, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. That was my uncle with his brood in 39 with Roosevelt. 39, that's the year I was born. You think they might have been planning my kidnapping in 41? And this is I showed you my father, the real King Edward VIII. Now, I want to go back to, I had put in Journal 1 about being, and this is the reason all this is happening to me. I did the medical malpractice book and tried to get it published about doctors. I wrote about mind control and the use of it, modify behavior, program people to go out and kill, shoot, commit suicide, make murders appear of natural cause. They had a cure for illnesses, or they can create them. That's the reason Warren and Rosina Matthews were killed at Larry McDonald's Piedmont Hospital. He was a congressman, doctor. I wrote about him. Then his plane went down in 83. It was shot down. All aboard died by the Russians. And I got into that campaign to replace him and was flown out to Flint, who tried to help in the campaign, and it was the British who told me about my real identity and kidnapping. So I'm going to go back to, I thought it was the book. I'm going to go back to where I went for the tox screen. I was given antifreeze. But just prior to that, I had gone, so much was happening. A letter from the FBI didn't seem to stop anything. So my ex-husband's sister out in, she was in Abilene at the time, had said that I could come and stay with her and she'd see if she could help me find a job. If I'd gotten a job, I was going to bring my two sons out there to try to get us away from it. I didn't know about being kidnapped and the real reason this was happening to me. So when I got to Mesquite outside Dallas, his sister suddenly said, no, you can't come. She had suddenly had a change of heart from the time that I left Atlanta till I got there. So I have to turn around and go back, and to leave out a whole bunch of stuff, I didn't have an apartment left. While I was gone, the manager had allowed my ex-husband to move my furniture, to take my deposit, and rent another apartment under his name within the same complex, just a different building, but it was there at Laurelwood. So I had nothing. I couldn't get a key. Bad things happened. My son told me, he said, Mom, you should know that Dad put you on his insurance while you were gone. Well, I wasn't married to the man. So my son was trying to warn me. Well, because things were so bad, I went to spend the night with Lois Pearson, who I'd gone to word processing school with. Her family was worked for doctors, so I was isolated really at that time. So I went to spend the night with her, and April Fool morning, I woke up, and I had been filled with, in the nape of the neck, just missing the stem with antifreeze. Okay, the night before, and I'd gone there to get away and for relief, you know. The night before, with her children present, she offered me at the dinner table something that was greenish and thick. I didn't know what antifreeze looked like. She told me it was something like Gatorade and encouraged me to drink it. I took a couple of sips, and it was so horrible I couldn't drink it. So during the night, they got me again. So I should have gone into a coma and died. So my ex-husband would have put me on life support if he did that, and I'm sure he had an insurance policy on me, and I would be dead. So I end up going, it's hell. You can't take your brain out and say, here's my brain, take a peek at it. So I go to West Paces Ferry for a tox screen, and all the time I'm in a sheer living hell to see if the tox screen can do something to help me if I find out what it is. So I got there, and they were waiting on me. They framed me throughout my life, but I got there, and the doctor there at West Paces Ferry, I was told later by the hospital that he wasn't even on their staff, so they're not responsible for what happened to me. He wasn't supposed to be there at the emergency room. He was head of psychiatry at Parkwood, Cliff Valley Way, and that's where Gonzalez, who plays such a rotten part in this, worked. Parkland is where Gonzalez was when Kennedy was taken out in Dallas, and he was interning there. So without trying to go through the steps again, I put it in prior tapes. Anyway, I went there for a tox screen. It was never done. I was locked up, and all illegally. And this is a hospital that is not a psych hospital or anything. This is a regular hospital that I had gone to in the past when I'd had emergencies, etc. So I'm locked up illegally, and Dr. Paul Beecham was assigned to help kill me. None of the regular physicals, blood tests, nothing was done that are normal upon and required upon being admitted to that hospital. So I'm put on the psych ward, supposed to be able to leave. They give me Halidol. On top of the hell I was in, I knew then that they were going to kill me. I didn't think I'd come out of there. And my husband, or ex-husband, suddenly gone to California, which he had never been that I knew of. I couldn't reach anyone to try to get out. I had no money for the phone. I did get a hold of the FBI through to them, and what they said to me is, we are doing the best we can from here. So what went on there was such a fiasco. It was crazy. They did do a urine analysis, was all they did when I got there. The rest of the tests, nothing was done. Supposedly, it became contaminated and was no good. So a couple of days later, they brought in a clean catch. Well, you have to know what I endured during that time. I tied myself with a sheet to keep from screaming, and I was already in so much hell. That's the reason I went there. So my ex-husband comes back, and I remember him coming back to the room and saying, if you'll come back and be my wife, you can go back home. I can't believe I said no, because anything was a better alternative to what was going on. But I have to wonder if I'd gone back to his apartment now, not mine, what really would have happened. So he came back, it was on Friday, I guess, Friday morning, and he sits down with Dr. Beecham like they're buddies. And I'm leaving out what really transpired in there. I can't get it on a tape, all this. But in other words, they had brought a clean catch for the urine. None of the other things were ever done. The clean catch, but then I knew they were killing me. So what I did, they deliberately, the first one was ruined. That was a joke. So I put a toothbrush with toothpaste in this clean catch. And, they had come in at 3 o'clock at night and put something in a vein. And by the way, the woman that was in there with me that saw it and said they didn't do that, weren't supposed to be doing that, she disappeared. She was moved, and I don't know where she went. But anyway, the swab with blood on it, I put in the urine analysis. So Beecham is standing there, and he had told me, you better shut up what you're saying about the doctors. As I fell fainted to the ground, to the floor, and with a smirk on his face. You don't dare say smirk or you're nuts, you know. Anything you say under those conditions, you can kiss your goodbye. So my husband's sitting there like they're buddies, and Beecham tells him that they did a clean catch and it come out fine. I thought, well, God, how did that happen? I put toothpaste, a swab with blood on it in it, and you're telling me this one wasn't contaminated. Anyway, the antifreeze, the tox wasn't done then. None of the blood worked. So my ex-husband moves me where I think I'm going home. Instead, it's Friday, Passover, Easter's on the 6th, on Sunday. He takes me